minute to try to do damage control. Life is about preventative measures. Life is about proactivity. If you feel like it's falling apart, pick it up. Tape it together. Do what you gotta do. Take some put some in. Make it work. But you can't keep doing the same over and over again.
I've been partying, right? Been drinking. We've been getting, oh my bad. We've been getting messed up. So, right? This dude I know trying to take me home, like, I'm gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? And we had,
I didn't say with me, I done lost plenty friends, closest friends, but it's like when you lose, like, it's like I feel like I lost my wife, So like, it's different. It's different. So I just advise everybody to just pay attention to their loved ones, and when they throw out signs of like anything, like, just take them serious, because I ain't take her serious and I regret it.
On August 31, 2022, the world was shaken when a famous rapper's wife ended her life after a shocking discovery. The woman was identified as 27-year-old Raven K. Jackson, longtime partner of rapper 600 Breezy, whose body was later found inside her apartment at 1100 Capitol Street, Canton, Mississippi. Not long before her passing, Raven had sent a series of emotional text messages to 600 Breezy. He tried calling her and sent multiple messages, but she never answered. When police performed a wellness check 6 days later at her residence, they discovered that she had already passed away. This is the life and death of Raven K. Jackson.
It's not over tonight. Just give me one more chance to make things right. I may not make it through the night. I won't go home without you. Oh.
Raven K. Jackson, 27, came into the world on September 23, 1997 in Canton, Mississippi, to her mother, Kia Jackson. Details about her father remain unclear as he was largely absent. Still, Raven never faced life alone. Her sister Mia was by her side. Their closeness created a bond that carried them through childhood, supported by their mother's love even without their father's presence. Despite the challenges, Kia made sure her daughters grew up with strong values. She emphasized education, endurance, and self-belief, teaching them that they could overcome hardship and shape their own path forward. Whatever obstacles appeared, Kia reminded them of their worth and the importance of perseverance. From an early age, Raven's vibrant spirit stood out. She loved to dance, laugh, and lift the mood of everyone around her. She hoped to leave a lasting mark on the world.
from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night, you are running. You are running from the very thing that could be the solution to all of your problems. You get high, you get drunk, you indulge. You surround yourself with distractions because you are afraid to be alone with your thoughts. You've taken the most powerful weapon that you possess and you've managed to weaponize it against yourself.
As she matured, Raven found her passion in health and fitness. She enjoyed staying active and motivated others to pursue better lifestyles, aiming to help people feel both confident and strong in themselves. Raven was also dedicated to learning. She kept a journal, explored creative writing, and enjoyed challenging her mind. She loved being in front of the camera, practicing poses, and imagining the day her face might be widely recognized. For Raven, Canton, Mississippi wasn't just her birthplace, it was part of her foundation. The lessons she carried from home, the strength of family, and the persistence her mother taught her all became cornerstones of who she was and the future she built for herself. Raven grew to believe that where a person starts does not have to define where they end up. This conviction became the heart of her mission to help others push past their own challenges. Yet, to live out that belief and move closer to her goals, she understood that she had to make a pivotal choice, one that would change the course of her future.
How many times in a day? Matter of fact, how many times just today alone before you even clicked on this video have you talked yourself or thought yourself out of making a decision that was in your own best interest? Whether it was not waking up in time or failing to complete a task, these self-destructive behaviors are a direct result of your inability to discipline your mind. See, throughout your life, little seeds have been planted. Seeds of self-doubt, seeds of insecurity, seeds of chaos. You have been programmed. And that's not your fault. But at some point, you have to take back your life.
After finishing high school, Raven entered Auburn University to study biomedical sciences. Her hunger for knowledge didn't stop with her bachelor's degree. Once she graduated, she went back to Mississippi and enrolled in Jackson State University to work toward a master's degree. Her years at Auburn marked the beginning of her journey toward her bigger dreams, laying the foundation for what would follow. At Jackson State, Raven's natural ability to lead became more visible. While many of her classmates concentrated only on academics, she recognized that college could be more than lectures and exams. She realized it was also about forming connections, building community, and creating spaces for growth. With that awareness, she knew she had to take initiative. She began by gathering small groups of students and encouraging open conversations. Through forums and safe spaces, she gave her peers the chance to speak freely about their struggles. Out of this effort grew RTR, Real Talk with Raven, a platform where honesty and acceptance took center stage.
You say you're fighting this battle alone and nobody understands you. You are never alone. There is almost always, you know what, not even almost, there's always someone going through something similar as you, someone that can help you, someone more experienced, someone who is anointed by God that can even, pray for you. You just need to reach out because there's somebody who will understand you.
Raven herself led by example, sharing her personal battles and experiences. What began as a modest idea soon became a movement that gave shape to her greater purpose. For Raven, her years at Jackson State University represented more than just pursuing another diploma. They became an opportunity to become the supportive voice she once longed for herself. By leading and building community, she used her time there to encourage and uplift others. With every initiative she took, she moved closer to bringing her vision to life. After completing her studies at Jackson State, Raven brought together her love for wellness and her drive to inspire by creating workout routines online. To her, exercise wasn't only about physical health. It was also about strengthening confidence and nurturing mental well-being. She wanted to show people that staying active could also mean finding self-worth. What began with simple posts on Instagram, filmed on her phone and fueled by persistence, soon drew attention. Her style stood out because it was genuine. She wasn't just sharing workouts, she was creating a sense of community, encouraging others to rise higher and reminding them they weren't alone in their struggles. As more people followed her, her influence widened and her platform became a steady source of encouragement. Her audience grew steadily, attracted by her mix of scientific knowledge from her biomedical background and her honest, down-to-earth personality. Many admired her for her energy, words, and openness. It didn't take long before she reached her first 1,000 followers, turning what began as a personal project into something much larger. What made her content stand out even more was how she tied fitness to science, explaining why each exercise mattered and the benefits behind it. Then came a turning point. One of her videos skyrocketed to 2 million views. That moment gave her confirmation. Her dream was not only achievable, but already unfolding. And as her platform expanded, it opened the door to new connections, including someone who would soon play a pivotal role in her life. On the year 2020, Raven crossed paths with 30-year-old Antonio Valentino King, known to most as rapper 600 Breezy. With his reputation already established in the music scene, their connection quickly grew into a relationship admired by many. What seemed to outsiders as just a celebrated pairing marked for Raven the beginning of a new chapter in her life. They often shared glimpses of their days together, pictures, clips of travels, laughter, and mutual support in their careers. To those watching from afar, their partnership appeared flawless. 600 Breezy frequently wrote affectionate tributes about Raven online, calling her his queen and openly declaring his love. They appeared at events side by side, uplifted one another in public and private, and projected an image of being deeply committed. For 2 years, their relationship looked unshakable. It went beyond social media highlights, forming a bond that carried weight off camera. He backed her entrepreneurial goals, celebrated her milestones, and embraced her drive as she expanded her work. He later described those years as the best of his life, making it clear that he loved not just Raven the influencer, but Raven in her entirety, with all her strengths and struggles. To Raven, 600 Breezy became more than a partner. He was her confidant, her anchor, and her place of safety. He witnessed moments the public never saw. While her followers admired her strength, he was there during the quiet times of pain. While others only saw victories, he stood beside her through the lows. Yet even the closest connections are not free from trials. Their relationship, though built on trust and understanding, faced its own challenges. Disagreements and heated arguments surfaced, as with any couple. Still, they found ways to reconcile, returning to one another with resilience. What they shared went deeper than romance. It rested on loyalty, patience, and an unspoken vow to stay together. But as Raven's life continued to expand, so did her vision for the future. By 2022, Raven's growing influence inspired her to build something larger than personal training. She launched Go Crazy Fitness, a brand that became more than a workout program. It evolved into a movement centered on health, empowerment, and self-confidence. Through customized meal plans, virtual coaching that felt personal across distances, and a line of athleisure wear created to empower all body types, Raven broadened her mission to help people live stronger lives inside and out. Go Crazy Fitness quickly set itself apart, growing beyond simple workout programs to include branded training gear and signature wellness experiences such as Warrior Retreat 2022. What began as a fitness brand soon became a lifestyle movement, an entire community where people could challenge themselves and discover transformation. As Raven's reach widened, her mission expanded as well. Exercise remained the core, but her focus stretched beyond the physical. She encouraged people not only to strengthen their bodies, but their minds, spirits, and daily lives. Each milestone inspired the next, and every setback became a story she shared with others. And in her eyes, this was still only the beginning.
Raven began weaving her ventures into a larger network that highlighted her skill as an entrepreneur. Her athleisure line gained attention for combining size inclusivity with affordable style, giving people access to workout wear that felt both practical and premium. Outwardly, her empire looked unstoppable, yet behind the accomplishments, she was facing challenges of her own. Even as she guided countless others towards self-acceptance, Raven wrestled with doubts about her own worth. The woman who inspired thousands to embrace themselves often struggled to extend that same compassion inward. During live sessions, she spoke with conviction and optimism, but once the screen turned off, insecurities surfaced. With her platform's rapid growth came mounting pressure to appear flawless, a burden heavier than any weight she lifted in training. Day by day, the strain grew more difficult to manage. Eventually, Raven decided to share her struggles openly with her followers. She spoke about the pain she had endured and her disappointment with medical visits where her concerns were brushed aside. She explained how several doctors dismissed her symptoms without thorough testing, offering little more than Tylenol. The turning point came when she met a female physician who took her seriously, ordered the right tests, and uncovered small cysts on her ovaries. Raven was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. PCOS is a hormonal condition marked by enlarged ovaries and the presence of cysts along their outer edges. It brings a wide range of symptoms: irregular or absent periods, weight gain, acne, facial hair, thinning hair, and mood challenges, such as many women with PCOS also struggle with fertility and face elevated risks during pregnancy. While there is no cure, lifestyle changes and symptom management can significantly improve health outcomes and increase the likelihood of a safe pregnancy. After learning about her diagnosis, Raven realized that what she ate had a direct effect on how she managed stress, pain, and she began adjusting her diet and documented the process publicly. She even produced a vlog titled "What I Eat in a Day," naturally treating ovarian cysts, PCOS, fibroids, and endometriosis, where she explained the meals that eased her symptoms and supported her overall health.
Get started, I do want to say what I think started my cyst was the fact that I stopped taking my birth control abruptly. My gynecologist, she instructed me to start back taking it just for a little while to get my hormones back under control. But I had been on the same birth control for about 4 years since I started college, and I stopped taking it abruptly, and that could have threw my hormones out of whack. So I like to keep my mornings pretty consistent. I always start my days with hot tea. I use Taylor's organic chamomile tea, which I picked up at my local fresh market.
To those looking in from the outside, Raven K. Jackson seemed to have everything: a thriving career, striking beauty, and a growing reputation. She was known as a trainer, model, and motivational speaker who lifted spirits with her words. Yet privately, she filled notebooks with thoughts of detachment, doubt, and questions about her worth. She appeared joyful to the world, but inside, she carried battles no one could truly see until it was too late. On the evening of August 31st, 2022, Raven stayed alone in her apartment. That day was unusual. She barely interacted online, unlike her normal active presence. Her partner, rapper 600 Breezy, was away in another city. Their relationship had already been under strain due to Breezy's ongoing conflict with Chicago rapper Queen Key. Queen Key had accused Breezy of fathering her triplets and frequently labeled him a deadbeat, despite his repeated denials. Their back-and-forth exchanges on social media drew constant attention. The dispute added pressure to Raven and Breezy's relationship, leaving Raven to feel increasingly cut off from those around her. That night, Raven sent Breezy a long, emotional message. She explained that she had been holding on for too long, wrestling with and intrusive thoughts that never seemed to end. She told him she loved him and imagined herself as his bride, but she also admitted she was exhausted. She confessed that she had been fighting far too long and didn't have the strength to continue. It was a message of pain and surrender, one that came too late. At first, 600 Breezy did not realize the weight of her words. He had seen messages like this before and assumed she only needed time to calm down. He tried calling her, but she didn't answer. He sent more texts, hoping she would respond, but none came back. He could not have known that this time her words carried a finality he would never be able to undo. On September 6, 2022, 6 days had gone by without any response from Raven. 600 Breezy's worry turned heavier as she hadn't updated her social media or returned her calls, something completely out of character for her. His unease shifted into fear, leading him to contact police and request a wellness check at her apartment. What he hoped would bring relief instead brought devastating news. When officers entered her home, they made a heartbreaking discovery. Raven was found unresponsive. Paramedics were called immediately, but their efforts were in vain. Investigators determined that she had died several days earlier, alone inside her apartment. The medical examiner later confirmed the cause. Raven K. Jackson had taken her own life. The same woman who had given countless others strength had quietly lost her own battle. The moment 600 Breezy learned of her passing, he was overwhelmed with shock and disbelief. His mind circled one question: why? In deep grief, he turned to social media to share the tragic news. He posted the final message Raven had written to him. It was a moment of raw pain, one that left her friends, family, and followers shaken. He also posted memories of their relationship, photos of their time together, and wrote an emotional tribute filled with regret. He wished he could have done more, using his platform to remind people that is real. He urged his followers to check in on their loved ones, stressing that even the strongest people can carry burdens that no one else can see. He described Raven as resilient, but admitted that the sadness she carried eventually became too much. Her sudden death stunned everyone. To those who knew her, she had always seemed full of life, spreading energy and positivity. But in the weeks before her passing, there had been hints. Some of her posts suggested exhaustion and being overwhelmed, but most people never realized the depth of what she was going through until after the fact. In one message, Raven admitted that even the strongest people feel weak sometimes. At the time, it was brushed off as a passing thought, as if she was just having a rough day. Looking back, Mimi now believes she was trying to express something much deeper. She had also written about how draining life had become, though most overlooked the meaning behind it. She continued sharing photos, but some noticed her smile seemed less bright. A few followers even asked if she was okay, but she never truly revealed the weight she was carrying. Her private journals revealed what she didn't say out loud. She wrote that the higher she rose, the more she questioned her reality. She wondered if she was truly happy, or if everything around her was just a facade. Along with those doubts came physical symptoms, stress-induced palpitations, unexplained body aches, and the unsettling feeling of bugs crawling on her skin. Success had brought recognition, but it also brought pressure, uncertainty, and fears she struggled to escape. Even though Raven stayed visible online, friends noticed that in personal conversations, she seemed quieter. She often kept to herself, yet continued running Go Crazy Fitness with her usual focus. Her brand was growing, her online following remained strong, but those closest to her could sense a change. People who worked alongside her began noticing small differences. She spoke more frequently about being tired, describing it in ways that went beyond physical exhaustion. She mentioned wanting time to reflect, to process what she was going through. During her last training sessions, clients remembered how she emphasized independence, teaching them how to continue on their fitness journeys without her guidance. Her loved ones tried to be there for her. Some suggested she take time off and rest, while others reminded her of her resilience, offering words of encouragement. But few realized the true depth of her pain or how much she was struggling inside. On September 17, 2022, Raven's funeral was held at the Canton High School Auditorium in Canton, Mississippi. Family, friends, and members of the community came together to celebrate her life, reflect on her impact, and say their goodbyes. It was a gathering marked by sorrow, remembrance, and gratitude for the influence she left behind. When word of her death spread, the fitness industry grieved the loss of more than a trainer.
It mourned a trailblazer who had helped make the field more open, inclusive, and genuine. The Go Crazy Fitness community leaned on one another, sharing stories and honoring her legacy, vowing to keep her work alive. The tragic loss of 27-year-old Raven K. Jackson stands as a reminder of the hidden struggles many carry silently. Her story highlights the importance of mental health awareness, the value of open dialogue, and the strength that comes from supportive communities. No one should feel they must face their battles alone, and no one should fight in silence. If you found Raven's story powerful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future stories. And most importantly, share this video to spread awareness about mental health, because you never know who might need to hear it today.